Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you lot are all doing well today, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome to your deadline day Chelsea news. That's right, happy birthday. Happy deadline day, if there is such a thing. And you know what, mate? Happy birthday if it is your birthday. I don't know what's happening to me. Bunch of stuff going on in the world of transfers. Chelsea are trying to get some players out. Maybe get a player in. Ooh, could Chelsea do some sensational last-minute business like they often can do? We'll have to see. It's dependent on them perhaps giving Jorginho an exit if Frank Lampard does indeed want that to seal his CDM desires at Chelsea Football Club. There's a left-back situation, there's the Ruben Loftus-Cheek situation. There's a lot to get into. So strap yourselves in, subscribe to Football Therapy if you haven't yet done so, like the video to support your boy, please do drop a like, and let me tell you about OneFootball. That's right, I'm delighted to say that today's video is brought to you by OneFootball, the one-stop app to keep you plugged into the beautiful game, transfers, news, fixtures, results, match statistics, lineups, absolutely everything you want from your national team, your club team. You can set up alerts, and a day like today where there's news going all over the gaff regarding football teams, footballs, players, managers, whatever. Check out the OneFootball app, it's completely free. Click the link in the top of the description to do yourself this favour. Alright then, let's get into it. So, like I said, lots going on in the footballing world, and Chelsea, although happy they found a settled back five and they've got the forwards, there's still a desire to get a CDM at the club. Now, it's beyond unlikely that Frank Lampard will realise his Declan Rice dreams today. Let's be real, West Ham would absolutely implode if they sold their talismanic golden boy jewel in the crown to Chelsea at the moment. But Frank Lampard still concedes there's a midfielder missing in his puzzle. He wants someone to sit in front of the back four. No, not like Kante. Kante needs to be putting out fires, running around, making tackles. He wants someone to sit and settle and rally. Like a leader, Declan Rice, I understand why they want him, and if you've watched him recently, his superb performances, you'll understand why Chelsea Football Club, and most notably Frank Lampard, really wants him. But like I said, it's looking unlikely to happen at the moment, but an interesting one that's come up in the media and the news this last couple of days is, of course, Thomas Partey, long-term Arsenal target. Now, the 27-year-old Ghanaian central defensive midfielder who plays for Atletico Madrid, his agent has been offering him round to clubs, and he has a £45 million buyout clause. It's seemingly he wanted the move essentially this summer. I'm not sure it's going to happen or it's going to materialise. Chelsea have been offered the player. Chelsea are very aware of his availability, his qualities, etc. And Frank Lampard, it's probably up to him if he wants him. It might come down to whether Chelsea can get rid of a central midfielder themselves and whether they bring Thomas Partey in. Now, really, I think Thomas Partey would be replacing Jorginho, but Frank Lampard is seemingly still very happy with Jorginho. See, this is the issue with him and his midfielders. He doesn't dislike any of his midfielders. I think Frank Lampard just concedes to the fact he's lacking balance. He likes Kovacic, he likes Jorginho, he likes Kante, etc. He likes them all, but he's looking for this perfect sort of equilibrium balance in his midfield, and that's why he wants this CDM. I think if he said to him, Thomas Partey for Jorginho, he might say yes in terms of the player style, even though, yes, he really likes Jorginho, but I'm not so sure. If Chelsea could get a couple of players out the door, including a central midfielder, they might have had conversations with Thomas Partey and being like, look mate, if we can get this done in the last day and get him there, and make a decision, we might be happy to bring you in. But very much, this would be Chelsea and most notably Frank Lampard's second choice behind Declan Rice. Maybe perhaps they got the feeling that they can never get Rice. They bring in Thomas Partey, even though he's a lot older, someone who can slot in and maybe help them challenge immediately. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. Keeping on the theme of Chelsea needing to get players out to bring someone in, you could argue someone like Jorginho going out would trigger that situation. Now, Arsenal are really interested in Jorginho, especially after the fact how they can't get Thomas Partey, and also Houssem Aouar. Yes, you'd be right to say, Houssem Aouar is nothing like Jorginho. And you'd be right, doesn't make sense to me, but apparently Arsenal are very keen in Jorginho, and if they could get a deal done, then they will do it. But Chelsea might not be interested in doing so late in the window on deadline day. But stranger things have happened. Chelsea have sold players on deadline day, bought them. They've often done business late, and who knows, Jorginho could still go to North London. Right, sticking on outgoings, let's talk about the left back position. Ben Chilwell is Chelsea's starting left back, and you can see why after his performance against Crystal Palace. But Chelsea have four left backs if you include Azpilicueta. They need to get rid of one. It was always going to be between Emerson Palmieri and Marcos Alonso. Now, honestly, the player which is leaving or the coach wants to leave has probably been switching around a lot. At first, you would have thought it was Emerson Palmieri because he didn't play much at all and just looked like he wasn't in Frank Lampard's plans. Then there was this notorious bust-up between Frank Lampard and Marcos Alonso where he gives him the hairdryer treatment in front of the entire squad. So you're like, wow, some players were noted to say they'll be surprised if Alonso ever plays for Chelsea again. So suddenly you're going, fair enough, I guess Emerson's the backup left back and he's going to sell Alonso now. And then Emerson plays, he's bloody awful, it's all a bit disappointing. And from what Frank Lampard said in his press conference, I can't hold grudges. When he was posed the question about the Marcos Alonso bust-up, it sounded very much like, no, I'm willing to keep him and we put water under the bridge kind of thing. And suddenly, we're back going, alright, so Emerson Palmieri is the one that's going to be sold today, or loaned today. We can't keep them all. They're a relatively high tier of players. Antonio Conte was interested in either or Emerson and Alonso, so one of those could still go. It does seem like Marcos Alonso will stay at Chelsea. He'll have to change his attitude. He'll, be available to play the left wing-back position, to come on and be a left-back against weak opposition, I suppose. He'll have to really train hard and basically get into the team. And to be honest, if it doesn't work, I would not be surprised if Azpilicueta plays left-back more than Marcos Alonso, if he doesn't change his attitude and turn his Chelsea career around. But as things stand, it does look like Emerson's the more likely to go today. Of course, if there's news, I'll talk about it here on Football Therapy today. It's going to be a busy day, man. Next up, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Now, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is available for a one-season loan to Premier League clubs for the fee of £8 million in total, which is quite a lot, but he's a very, very good player. This is something I've spoken about many times here on Football Therapy before. Now, Aston Villa were interested in Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Ross Barkley. They wanted that additional midfielder to play with Jack Grealish and McGinn, and they went with Ross Barkley, and you can kind of understand why. He's got a much better fitness record, injury record than Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's played more the last couple of years, I suppose, and he is incredibly fit. He can run forever, and he demonstrated that in Aston Villa's 7-2 win against the champions Liverpool. That's right, this weekend has been just completely mental. And Ross Barkley missed a couple of chances, but he looked very good in the Aston Villa side, and he looked like he fit in, so you can understand why Villa feel they've made the right choice. But Ruben is still available, and to be honest, I think there's going to be a last-minute loan today, probably to a destination where originally he wouldn't have wanted to go, which is pretty sad if you ask me. I think Frank Lampard would be happy to keep him if the loan doesn't materialise and try and rotate him in and out, but he understands that Ruben out of form, out of fitness, is going to take ages to get a few minutes here and there, whereas if he goes out on loan in the Premier League somewhere, he can start every game at a lower club and build himself back up to come back into the Chelsea side and be like a reliable, ready, in-form, permanent fixture in the team. Do you know what I mean? But, I'm not entirely sure what team he could go to now. I have this sneaking suspicion that if he does get out of the door before the deadline ends, he's going to probably go to the likes of Fulham, which is thoroughly disappointing because they haven't looked great at all and they look like they need defenders. It doesn't matter how good you can play up front. If they can't defend, you're going to be at a sinking ship, and is that going to be a good experience for him? I mean, he's already played for Palace. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, and I'll, of course, keep you updated with the Loftus-Cheek loan story. Anyway, that's all the news for the moment. There's a lot of sort of possible moves going on here. It's the morning as I film this, so keep it locked to Football Therapy. As news comes out and things happen, I'll make a video on it and let you know. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and have that all-important bell notifications icon clicked, so you get notified when my videos go live. You're the first to know, and you can watch them and be updated and get all the Chelsea related information, mate. Anything else? That's probably it. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.